Okay, our next presentation is again a double act. We have Merel van Esch and Victoria Jenkins. Merel has been helping families through Home2Home since the early stages of the program. With previous experience in marketing, a Bachelor of Communication and Media Design, and her passion for helping people and animals in need, Merel combines her empathic approach, a knack for problem solving, and an open mind to help grow and develop the program. And having spent more than a decade working in animal care, Vicky cherishes bringing people and pets together. She loves that her role at PetRescue allows her to do this by helping adopters looking for a new furry family member and owners looking for the best outcome for their beloved pet. Vicky's background in animal health and compassionate, supportive approach has proven vital for helping special needs pets transition successfully into new homes. So please help me in welcoming Merel van Esch and Victoria Jenkins speaking on Home2Home, how supported rehoming can level up your services and amplify efforts to keep pets out of the system.
Maybe?
Yes. Okay, awesome.
There we go.
Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about the Home2Home program. And now I can hear you think, what is the Home2Home program? So Home2Home is an owner-assisted rehoming program that connects the owner with an adopted directly. And so that means that a pet can go from one loving home to another loving home.
We have a dedicated team offering one-on-one support, and we've seen firsthand the fantastic outcomes that can be achieved through partnering with pet owners. We cannot wait to share you a glimpse of the work that we do. So let's dive in.
Before we start, we would like to acknowledge that we're joining you today from the land of the Yugambeh people, also known as the Gold Coast. As a visitor to this beautiful region, we are deeply honored to stand on this ancient land with a rich history and culture dating back thousands of years. Today, let us remember the interconnectedness of all living beings, including our beloved pets, and the responsibility we bear to care for them and their environment.
When Merel and I knew that we would be joining you this morning, we knew that we wanted to share with you one of our favorite Home2Home journeys. We did have a bit of a tough time deciding which one and got a bit teary-eyed sending each other pictures back and forth. But in the end, we decided to introduce you to a dog named Bailey, his original owner Jess, and his adopter Anna.
Well, this very cute little kitten here on the screen is definitely not the Bailey we are talking about today. So for privacy reasons, we have chosen to de-identify all the pets and the people, including their names and the photos, in the stories we are going to talk to you about today.
That's right. But Jess and Bailey shared an incredible bond. And Jess knew that, unfortunately, her accommodation situation was going to be changing in the future. She wanted to find a rehoming option that would enable the process to be as low stress as possible for Bailey. She knew that she had the capacity to continue caring for Bailey while she looked for a wonderful adopter. And she really wanted to be a part of choosing the person who would become her boy's new best mate.
So imagine Jess, a loving pet owner, having to give up her beautiful, beautiful Bailey. That is incredibly heartbreaking, but she also knows what's best for Bailey. So she chooses assisted rehoming, which puts her in the driver's seat. And with the help of the program, she can create a great outcome for Bailey and for herself.
From Jess, we learnt that Bailey is the master of tail wags and treat-induced happiness, that he loves car trips to the beach and has an obsession with plush toys. We also learnt that he might just be the doggy version of Einstein, acing all of his obedience classes, but that when it comes to his zoomies, his spatial awareness needs a bit of a tune-up. So after learning all about Bailey, we took Jess through the steps of our Home2Home program, and Bailey was listed on the PetRescue website for adoption. The next 6 months held quite a few ups and downs for Jess as she chatted with 8 potential adopters.
While we provided her with the practical support, Jess was the real superstar here, keeping the faith until one day Bailey's life changed and he received an inquiry from Anna.
That's right. Anna was searching for an emotional support dog for herself and her son David. And from the moment that Bailey and David met, everyone knew that that match was pure magic. We received an email from Jess, and it really touched our hearts when she said that she felt like Bailey had been waiting for this family.
We believe that rescuing and rehoming are both really important ways to help pets. By rehoming a pet, you're helping a pet owner who is no longer able to take care of their pets. And you're giving them peace of mind knowing that the pet is going to a good home. And by rescuing a pet, you're giving them a second chance at life. You're taking in a pet that has been through a lot, and you're showing them what it means to be loved. If you rescue a pet, you focus on those that maybe need medical or behavioral rehab, or maybe they just have nowhere else safe to go, and they truly need to be rescued. And we believe that together you can save more pets and focus on those that really need it. Here at PetRescue, we work towards a world where every pet is safe, respected, and loved. And I'm sure that's a dream shared by many in this room. But the reality is that thousands of pets are surrendered to rescues and shelters every year. And during the pandemic, that problem became even worse. Rescue organizations were overwhelmed, and many had to turn pets away.
And that's when Home2Home was born. We provide guidance and support that is enabling pet owners to rehome their pets successfully. We know that the best place for vulnerable and at-risk pets is in the care of a rescue organization. As Merel was saying, those pets possibly need medical or behavioral rehabilitation, or they might just be in a situation that puts them at risk. When we compare that to dogs like Bailey, we can see that the Baileys in the system don't need that intensive level of care. They simply just need a new home.
Bailey could stay right out of the red zone here, which means he freed up space in rescue and foster networks for pets who needed it most. And that is the power of assisted rehoming. By offering assisted rehoming or a combination of these services, you can save more pets and lessen the burden on your rescue organization. Because let's be real here, compassion fatigue is a problem, and this is a direct solution to it. Home2Home recognizes the bond between humans and pets, and that's why we work in partnership with pet owners and other animal lovers. Ultimately, our goal is to keep the welfare and the well-being of pets and the humans at the center of everything we do.
We know that change is a part of life. It's what enables us to grow and progress. And us here in this room know that that's vital. That's why we're all here today. But we also know that change can be really difficult, and it can certainly be unexpected.
Think about all the changes you and your organization have been through the last few years. The pandemic, the economic downturn, I mean, just to name a few small ones. And that was incredibly challenging, but it also forced us to embrace the change and to recognize it. Rehoming a pet is not a change that many of us in this room probably never expect to face. That is an incredibly difficult decision, but if we truly love our pets, we want what's best for them. Throughout the last few years, we've seen a variety of reasons for rehoming coming through the program, with the main ones being human health complications, financial strain, and accommodation issues. And these are big challenges for everyone. So let's give ourselves and each other some grace while we go through those changes, because by doing so, it's better for everyone involved.
For myself, I'd like to think that there's nothing in the world that could make me give up my pets. But I know that if I stop and think about it, that's not true. What if instead of being the healthy, happy person that you see standing here today, I was older or facing the misfortune of deteriorating health? What if I had just been taken to hospital and my doctor had advised me that I would soon need to move to an assisted living facility? And what if the only facilities available to me wouldn't allow me to take my pets?
And that's exactly the situation that this owner faced here. Human health complications are one of the main reasons for rehoming we are seeing, and assisted rehoming can be a fantastic option for those loving owners who do have the time to take their pet through the process.
As Merel mentioned a moment ago, financial hardship is another one of the main reasons for rehoming that we're seeing in Home2Home. One of the most touching applications that we've received was from Eloise, and we'd like to just read directly from her application.
Please know, I really wish I didn't have to. He's my perfect little man. However, with the way everything's going, I'm scared for him. If he were to be injured or get sick, I can't financially afford to take him to the vet. I'm unable to even feed myself, as I always make sure he's fed before me.
I was with him when he began to put on weight, to grow back his fur, and become relaxed around men and other strangers. I saw him really shine. I want him to continue to shine, to grow, and be given all of the best things in life.
Between my financial life now, being unable to meet the needs of any being, and my mental health deteriorating as a result, I know when to say I've done it all I can with the resources I have.
I want him to know that he is loved and continue to be loved by another who can provide him with the stability that I am unfortunately losing. He is perfect. I'm just not able to be perfect for him. Gosh.
It gets us every time.
Okay. Reset.
One of the other main barriers we are seeing is the availability and the suitability of accommodation, whether it's losing your home, downsizing, transitioning into combined households, or maybe your accommodation is simply not a good fit for your pet's needs. They are all valid reasons for rehoming a pet.
We are seeing this as a real issue that is affecting so many people and pets. And the important thing to remember here is that so many loving pet owners simply don't have the privilege of the time or the money that it takes to find accommodation that will accept their entire family. The truth is, life happens to all of us, and it can be, as we've heard through other people's presentations this morning, it can be a natural reaction to, as an animal lover, think poorly of someone who needs to rehome their pet. But what we know for sure is that any owner who can recognize that their living situation no longer meets the needs of their pet and then be proactive in seeking a solution to that is actually a fantastic pet owner. What we don't want to see is pet owners who feel like they can't reach out for rehoming options, and that leaves their pet in potentially risky situations or potentially facing neglect, and then in turn actually needing to be rescued.
As Brené Brown said, what we don't need in the midst of a struggle is the shame for being human. We have experienced when someone seeks out our assistance as an option for their pet, it is a heartfelt act of kindness. Assisted rehoming is a gentler way for those loving pet owners and their pets to transition through life's inevitable changes.
So, oh gosh, I'm still teary. Okay, this is no good. So, what happened in the end of Jess and Bailey's story? Well, as they say, the rest is history. Bailey is now settled in with Anna and David, and Anna sends Jess reminders and photos of their adventures. And most importantly, Jess, although she misses Bailey dearly, she has that peace of mind of knowing that he is safe and he is loved with Anna. And we're so glad that she has that. So let's for a moment zoom in on the real and tangible benefits that assisted rehoming and Home2Home specifically have for people and pets just like Jess and Bailey.
Well, Bailey can stay right in the comfort of his own home, where he can be happy and feel safe together with Jess while he's waiting for a new family. He's also put directly in front of a whopping 30,000 potential adopters every single day. And that's pretty impressive. But that's not all. Jess, who's the real hero here, has a dedicated team providing her full support every step of the way. From taking Bailey's photos, to writing his listing, to screening adopters and setting up meet and greets.
That's right, and throughout the matching process, there are immeasurable benefits for Bailey and Jess as well. For Bailey, he benefits from being matched to a new loving owner by the person who knows him best in the world. And for Jess, as we said, she has that peace of mind of knowing that she's been able to speak directly with the family that is going to be caring for her dog and giving him the love and care that she wishes for him to have.
By choosing assisted rehoming, Jess is not only helping Bailey, but she's also helping the wider rescue ecosystem. For example, Bailey is able to stay right in the comfort of his own home for 6 full months. And to be honest, he may have not had this time if he were surrendered to a shelter. And during the time, he also freed up space for those pets who needed it most.
Bailey also saved animal care teams money on their holding and care costs. He reduced staff workloads and potentially lowered the euthanasia rate and the impact that that also has on staff.
All in all, it is a win-win for everyone involved. It's one way to prevent pets that don't need to be there come through the system. It helps pets find new homes, and it helps rescues save more lives.
And Bailey is just one pet who was adopted through one assisted rehoming program that operates remotely across 2 states. When we zoom out again and look at the period of a 12-month span for Home2Home, we can say that 544 pets have been prevented from entering the system. That's a phenomenal amount of resources that can be put towards kicking goals for the pets that need it most. We can also say that 1,793 people and their pets received support when they needed it most.
This could be a helpful program for your organization. And we understand there's a lot to consider when implementing something like this. So we put together a quick Q&A, and I will ask Vicky the hard, hairy questions. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
How do you ensure that pet owners are honest about their pets when they're using a remote service like Home2Home and have so much control over the process?
We were pleasantly surprised to find that pet owners cared just as much about transparency as we did. Ultimately, they want their pets to go to homes where their needs will be met, so they want to be honest about what those needs are. But we also have a few safeguards in place as well. We require veterinary documentation, we conduct behavioural assessment phone calls, and where it's needed, we require owners to seek in-person consultation with approved, qualified professionals that enables everyone involved to have a clear picture of the pet and make informed decisions.
That's great to hear. But what about irresponsible breeders? How do you make sure that they don't use the Home2Home program to advertise their pets?
The last thing we would want is for the platform to be misused. So we removed the incentive. Home2Home pet owners do not receive an adoption fee. An adoption fee is calculated fairly based on the local rescue ecosystem. And then that money is put directly to PetRescue's own programs, including Home2Home itself.
So what about facilitating adoption while not being an official party to the adoption? That must be really tricky.
It doesn't need to be. We sought legal advice and formulated a formal adoption contract that sets forth the rights and responsibilities of the adopter, the owner, and also sets out the role that PetRescue and Home2Home is playing.
Vicky, I've got a tough question for you. What if you've gone through all those checks and balances and a pet is adopted, but things don't work out? What's happening then?
It does happen. I mean, no system is perfect, and what we have established is that prior to listing, we would make sure that the owner is able to take that pet back into their care. Where that's not possible, we would have already established that the adopter is able to continue caring for the pet until a new adopter is found or an alternative rehoming pathway is sought. And in the rare cases where neither of those things are possible, then we would call on one of our safety net rescue organisations to take the pet into their care.
Do you find the numbers quite high in that regard?
In actual fact, it's actually quite low. We're surprised that we have only a 2% return rate, which we are conscious of time and we know we'll wrap this up. We just get going when we talk about this stuff. But yeah, essentially it's just a testament to the approach that we have taken, which is supporting pet owners through a rehoming journey and then following on that support with their adopter as well.
Well, we've been running for 3 years now, and we've learned so much along the way. We've been through all the ups and the downs and the hurdles, and we would love to share this knowledge with you and get you started today.
We did have one more slide that we were going to show you, but perhaps it'll be best if you just come in and chat to us throughout the week. It was essentially just related to a really fantastic, unexpected outcome that we have, and that is the power of providing support to owners being a key factor in enabling them to keep their pets. It's a beautiful story up here and we'd love to tell you more about it, but essentially we found that by having a rehoming program that doesn't require people to immediately surrender their pet while a foster or shelter place is available, took the pressure out of their situation, and our support and guidance can help them work through the barriers they're facing to keeping their pets, which ultimately ends in the best outcome of all, which is that pet staying at home with its loving owner. So I think we should wrap up now. But yeah, come and chat to us throughout the week. Anyone with one of these shirts would be glad to have a chat with you about our shared goals. So thank you very much.
Thank you.